What is good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode brought to you by the League FFB. Today, as we do every single Saturday, we are going to be drafting some Underdog Fantasy teams, the Battle Royale tournament. We're going to put a couple entries in on this one here for week 3 of the fantasy football season. As always, as I am doing this, I'm going to be answering your guys' fantasy football questions as they come in. So if you have any questions for me here today, make sure to put them in the comments. I will pull them onto the screen. We'll talk about them as we draft these teams. But I don't want to waste too much time, man. We got probably 30, 45 minutes here that we'll be doing this. But let's just hop right into the first Battle Royale squad and start drafting this team, man. So as I do every week, I pulled my rankings for the Battle Royale tournament here. I do my rankings on here. You guys can see them for these underdog drafts. Now, these are not the same as my redraft rankings. Keep that in mind. But they are going to be ranked here, so you can kind of see how we're going to be doing this. Now, coming in at the 105, that is where we're going to be drafting from. We got about 40 seconds until we start. That is going to put us in prime territory to hopefully, if people go early at the running back, we are going to be able to grab one of the top wide receivers. So I see we got Abdul in the chat. He says, how we doing? How we doing, man? How you doing? I'm doing good, man. Hopefully you're doing good as well. So that is what we're going to be doing today, guys. As I mentioned, throw those comments, throw those questions in the chat if you have anything for me. If not, if you just want to talk life, talk ball, talk whatever you want to talk, let's talk that too. We'll just be hanging out here. So let's see what we can make happen here. If you guys are not familiar with the Battle Royale tournaments, you draft one quarterback, one tight end, one running back, 2 wide receivers, and a flex. I typically like to go the 2 running back route rather than 3 wide receivers. Week 1, one of our Battle Royale teams cashed. Week 2, one of our Battle Royale teams cashed. We're trying to keep the streak alive here, going 3 weeks in a row with cashing a lineup. So, so far, off to a good start here this year. Now, that being said, I said maybe we could get one of the wide receivers if people want to go with the running backs. The wide receiver came off the board very first, CeeDee Lamb. He is going to probably have a very good week here this week. I have him very high in my rankings. Jalen Hurts off the board early. That is questionable, considering you only need one quarterback. That's very questionable. Alvin Kamara off the board as well. And then we're going to be here up shortly. And I'd like to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown if we can. Hopefully, Iraz doesn't take Amon-Ra St. Brown because I'd like to start this draft off with him. And it does look like that is what we're going to be able to do. I will take him here in this one, put him on the squad, and then hopefully on our turn back around, we can grab either Saquon or JT maybe. That would be ideal for me. So you got Saquon and Achane off the board. I'll just go with JT. Grab him, make sure that we can get a good running back on this team, and then go hopefully back to the running back well here in a second. Abdul with the question in the chat. Let's see what he got. Low-key panicking in my main league. Supposed to be a dominant team, and injuries are killing me. Traded Puka in a second for A.J. Brown and Ramondre. A.J. Brown is still out, plus Ramondre might as well been. It's tough right now, man. It's tough with the injuries. You just got to keep, pushing through them. The good thing is it doesn't sound like A.J. is going to miss like 3-4 weeks. It should hopefully be back next week. And then Ramondre, we'll see what happens moving forward. But it's tough, man. I do like the trade, though. Puka in a second for AJB and Ramondre. I don't mind that as well. You made a solid move. It's just bad luck at the moment. But keep in mind, we're only in week 3. We're only in week 3 of the season. There is a long, long way to go. So I wouldn't be panicked too much yet. He says going up against the number 2 team with no Pacheco, no Debo, no AJB, and Mahomes is a troll. Yeah, man. Tough. But like I said, don't panic. It's only week 3. We're not really panicking off that yet. What can we do here? I'd like to be able to grab Ayuk maybe on this squad. Maybe Olave. Those would be my 2 picks here potentially if we can grab them. Let's see what we got. Ayuk, Olave, maybe Devontae Adams on a team here. I just don't know if they have the upside. If Gibbs comes back around, I don't mind going Gibbs and getting the double Lions stack, but that seems like it could be dangerous. Just going to keep playing it, man, see what happens. There's a lot of good running backs here. I don't think we need to stress too much about the running back position. All right, so we do get our first pick. We are going to take Ayuk. I'm going to take him for this one, see what we can make happen there. And then on our next pick, I don't mind going James Conner. I don't mind going Josh Jacobs. I think either of those guys are fine picks here in this one. To be honest, I might end up going with, we have the Detroit-Arizona game. We don't have anything in this Jacobs game. We'll take him, make him our running back 2. Now we just need the tight end and the QB, and that's it. So far, not looking too bad. Johnny says Ayuk is trash. Bold. I think that's a bold statement. However, Ayuk is the only guy available for San Francisco at the moment. So if anybody is going to be relied on here in this one against a very banged up, very bad Rams team at the moment, Ayuk's going to have to be the guy. So no Kittle, no Debo, no CMC. Maybe the answer is Jordan Mason, but I think Ayuk is really one of the only options that they have right now. So if you're going to take a shot on him any week, might as well do it this week. So as we go back to our next pick, we're just looking at quarterback and tight end. Like I said, don't mind potentially grabbing a guy like Laporta. Don't mind grabbing a guy like Andrews. Don't even mind taking a CJ Stroud or something like that here this week. I think all of those options would be fine for us. Abdul says streets are not ready for this Chris Conley masterclass. Wouldn't that be a pain in the ass for fantasy? Because nobody in their right mind wants to go start Chris Conley at the moment. That's unfortunate. But let's see what we can get. Look at Tyreek Hill going so late, man. It's because Skylar Thompson. I got a lot of people in my my weekly rankings this week that were like, why do you hate Tyreek Hill? Why are you so low on Tyreek Hill? Brother, Skylar Thompson is ass. He is bad. Like, not going to be good at all. Tyreek is great. It's going to be tough to overcome Skylar Thompson quarterback play. But apparently some people still wanted me to put Tyreek in as like a top 3, top 5 play this week at the wide receiver position. Ain't going to happen. Wasn't going to happen for me. So we'll see what happens here. I don't mind maybe even going Laporta. The problem is I don't want to double into the same offense on multiple occasions unless it's a quarterback stack. So because we have Amon-Ra, I don't really want to buy into Laporta here. I think what we'll do is try and go Andrews if he's available. Dill Jones already has a tight end, so there should be no reason for him to go tight end. Then here, maybe you just take the best tight end on the board, Laporta. I think that would be my idea, if you're IRAs. We'll see. I'd like to just – there you go, Anthony Richardson. That's fine with me. I'll go Mark Andrews. Let's see what we can do this week with Mark Andrews. But so far, this team's looking pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. Maybe Johnny doesn't like it because he thinks Ayuk is trash, but I think this team's pretty damn solid. And then at the quarterback position, we could go with a couple of different stack options. You got Purdy, you got Goff, and then that's probably all that I'm looking at stack-wise. Not going to be able to have Lamar on the team, but we'll see what we can do here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Jared Goff here as the stack. So we got Goff, Taylor, Jacobs, Amon-Ra, Ayuk, Andrews. Not a bad little roster here. So that's going to be our first team, and we'll go from there. Johnny says Laporta, then Goff. I was not going to double tap receiving options in Detroit there because it's just going to limit our upside so much in a type of tournament like this where you only have 6 players playing. But I don't mind getting the Goff stack. Now, as I mentioned, that is the first draft. We're going to do a couple of these. We're probably going to do 4 of them. Excuse me, I'm about to sneeze. Maybe not. That was tough. That was rough. But yeah, we're going to do 4 of these. That was the first of them. We'll just go and hit the next one. So not too bad for the first one. I like that one. We're going to see what this ends up looking like this week. Like I said, we've cashed on multiple occasions now, back-to-back weeks. Just trying to keep that streak going, man. I think if we can keep doing that, it's obviously good. Obviously good. So we've just entered the next Battle Royale here. We are going to be starting this draft here in about 50 seconds. We are drafting from the 104. Not much different than what we just got, unfortunately. So this one, why don't we do something a tiny bit different? If we can get CeeDee Lamb, I'll grab CeeDee Lamb. If not, let's just take one of the top running backs in this one. So I'll go Lamb. We'll look at like Kamara, Barkley, Mason. That's what we're going to look at here in this one. I think all of those are going to be good options. So we'll take one of those 4 guys in that order most likely as well. And then we'll see what we can do there. But like I said, I want to diversify. I want some of these teams to look different. I don't want them all to look the same. We've been doing all right with the teams, trying to diversify them, trying to make them look different. It's been working because, when you have one of those guys, for example, the other day we had Ayuk on 2 teams of the 4 teams that we drafted. He didn't do well, and it basically killed 2 rosters. 2 rosters we didn't have a chance to cash out of the 4. We cashed on the other 2, but the 2 that had Ayuk, they didn't cash. So if you have a bad player on, or I guess you have a good player that has a bad day on just multiple teams, you can kill yourself you can kill your lineup, pretty quickly. So we'll see what happens here. A couple red badges in this draft as well, so you kind of like to see that. Should be a little bit tougher competition. Achane off the board. I'd like to see him pass on CD. If he passes on CD, I'd like to see that. Maybe we can get him on a lineup. He doesn't, so we'll just go Saquon. Start off with our running back. And on our next pick, we'll see what we can do there. Maybe it's Mason. We got Taylor on the last one, so maybe it's Gibbs. Maybe it's Jefferson. Maybe it's Nico. I swear I just literally put a tag on all of those guys, and they all got drafted. So we'll go Jahmyr Gibbs, and that'll be our running back room. Now we got to go to the wide receiver rooms and just go back-to-back with that position. Then it's on to the QB and the tight end again. So this one, different running back room than before. I like this room. I know Johnny probably likes the fact that we have some Jahmyr Gibbs in here. So, we'll see what happens. We can take that off the board, though. Just go with this and see what we can make happen here. I'd like to go maybe Chris Olave. It's going to be the same game as the Saquon one, but I'd like to go Chris Olave potentially. Maybe we get a Devontae Adams, Marvin, Olave. I don't mind maybe going, I don't know. I'd just like to get one of those 3, at least for this next pick. Then we can get a better idea of what's kind of on the board after that. But Devontae off the board, he probably was going to be a good pick too. I probably should have had him checked as well. But we'll see. Who did this Mike guy go with tight end first? Brock Bowers? Bold strategy. I mean, he's been looking good, but taking him early is kind of bold. So we'll see. Please leave me Olave. Please leave me Olave. There you go. Start of the week, Chris Olave for me, by the way, if you watched our starts and sits of the week video. So pulled him. We'll see what we can do with the next one. If Ayuk's still on the board with the next one, I think I'm going to take him again. And I know Johnny's going to hate it, but I think I'm going to do it again. And I just talked about having him on 2 teams last week and it killing me. I might do it. Maybe I should just take Chris Godwin, though. Maybe I should just take Tyreek Hill. Nah. I'm doing it. Olave, Ayuk, not bad. Underperformers over the last couple of weeks, but I still like it. Sorry, not sorry. Now we'll look at maybe we'll wait on tight end, maybe, and go with the QB first. If we can get Jalen Hurts or CJ Stroud, I'd prefer that. If we can't, whatever. Maybe we get the Derek Carr stack. There goes Kittle. That's a crazy pick because I think he's going to be out, right? I think they already said that he's going to miss time. That's kind of crazy. You just killed your roster, dude. We got one of these QBs. I think I'm going to go with Stroud over Hurts in this one because I don't want to actually, fuck it. I think Stroud is going to be good, but Jalen Hurts, you get the stack with Saquon. They were checking it down enough last week. Jonathan, my guy, Johnny says, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. You can't get fooled again. Jonathan says, hey, what's up, my guys? Trying to pick a flex option between Dobbins, JSN, Brock Bowers, full PPR, 1 point for first downs. JSN, Bowers, Dobbins. Honestly, the move might be Dobbins there for the 1 point for first downs. He's probably going to get quite a bit of first downs in this game, just running the football. So it might be Dobbins there. What do we got? We got the QB already off the board. Do I gamble on Andrews again? I think I'm going to. So we got Andrews, Ayuk, Olave, Gibbs, Barkley, Hurts. So we cannot draft Ayuk and Andrews anymore. We can't do that. Not allowed. Because we already have them on 2 teams. We gotta get away from them now. I like their value this week, I guess, in these drafts, apparently where they're going. But we got to get away from that. Battle Royale, back again, 1 mo. Actually, 2 more. We're going to hit 2 more. But we'll just hit right back into this one. It's already full. We'll see how much or what pick we're going to be getting. God damn. We are going to be drafting from the 104 again. So let's see what we can make happen. We had CD, Kamara, Saquon, Mason. You know, I'd like to get Kamara or Mason maybe here with the number 4 pick. So, or Lamb if he falls, but probably not trying to get Saquon again unless he's just the best player available there, and go from that point. But maybe even I'd like to try and get some Nico Collins. If maybe in this one we try and get like a Nico Collins, CJ Stroud stack. I feel like that would be fun. Trying to get one of those teams. Tight end, I'd maybe go a little bit early and try and get like a Trey McBride, maybe a Brock Bowers. If we can get one of those guys, that would be ideal as well. Maybe this one we get a little bit crazy. Yeah, let's get a little bit crazy on this one, to be honest. See what we can make happen. Aziz says, flexing Whittington over Keon and Donta Foreman. Fingers crossed this isn't Keon's breakout game. Yeah, that's rough. Fingers crossed. I can't confidently flex Whittington, to be honest. Axe says, yo, would you rather have Deontay Johnson or Alec Pierce? Probably Deontay Johnson moving forward, especially with Josh Downs back in the lineup. So here we go. We're going to get our choice of one of these 2 guys, Kamara or Mason. That's going to be our pick here. I think we'd like to try and get, I guess we'll just grab Kamara. Actually, yeah, I'm just going to grab Kamara. Mason would be nice if we could get him on the way back around. I don't think we're going to be able to get him on the way back around, but I'd like to. And then I'd like to get either Nico or Jefferson on the way back around as well. This week, I still probably just roll out Deontay Johnson. Dude took the whole clock. He's on back-to-backs. So he's going to go Saquon and something. It's probably going to be another auto pick here. Oh, there you go. Nico. God damn you. But Jordan Mason is falling. If you can leave him for us. And he did. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, now we're going to go to the wide receiver position. But I might I might try and grab one of these. If Bowers is there on the next one, I think I'm going to go Bowers just to get unique at the tight end position. Because we can find gems at running back. I mean, at wide receiver. We can find gems. Aziz says, I can't confidently flex Keon either after last week. That felt more like game script to me. They beat the shit out of Miami. They dogged them. So, like, Chase Edmonds, bro. Brother. I think they're going to throw away this draft. Yeah, they're going to throw this. Fuck this guy, dude. They're going to throw. Underdog's going to throw away this draft. So, doesn't really matter what we do the rest of the way. Because this fucking idiot's going to. That pisses me off, bro. Kamara and Jordan Mason is such a good start. And that idiot. Whatever. I guess we'll just draft normal. Hopefully this goes under the radar and Underdog doesn't notice. But they most likely will throw it away. When somebody starts doing stupid stuff like that, they'll throw it away. We're going to go Devontae Smith. Actually, I said if Brock Bowers was there, we'll take Bowers. Here we go. Axe says start 2, Brian Thomas Jr., Rashid Shaheed, and Amari Cooper. I'm going Shaheed and probably Cooper this week. Brian Thomas Jr. looks better than Cooper so far. The targets are going Cooper's way. But that being said, that Buffalo defense has been really tough against wide receivers. So Brian Thomas is going to have to catch a big play to make anything happen, which he can. But I'd feel more confident in Shaheed and Cooper this week. Bro, that dude pissed me off, man. Carbon Kitten. Whatever. Well, now that we got Lamar here, I'm just going to take Lamar too, and we can find wide receiver talent. Actually, Devontae's still on the board. If Devontae's still on the board, I'm taking him, which he is. And then we'll go QB after if we can get Lamar, hopefully. I don't know. Yeah, we're not going to be able to, though. Let's see what this freaking loser does again. I'm worried about Kincaid. Someone dropped Jake Ferguson. Would you drop Blake Corum or Terry McLaurin for him? I have Chase, Godwin, and Rice at wide receiver and have Corum because I have Kyron. I don't mind dropping Corum for Kincaid. I mean for Ferguson. But that being said, like if you have Kincaid, I'm not worried about him. I would just keep him and I'd just keep plugging him into my starting lineup every week. I don't feel like you need to go grab a second tight end if you have a guy like Kincaid already. Aziz says great draft. Throwing the house on Bowers TD tomorrow. Access, thanks, man. No problem, dude. What did that Carbon Kitten do? A-Rich and Jonathan Taylor? I can't imagine why they would have done what they did in that last 2 picks. That was ridiculous, bro. That was ridiculous. But maybe because they drafted like actual players now, we'll be able to keep the draft. I don't know. I guess we'll go to the wide receiver position. I'm going to go with Godwin. And then we'll come back at QB. And if we can get, what do we have here? Carr stack. They don't really throw to Mason. Jalen Hurts is already gone. Baker Mayfield stack maybe. Or, yeah, we don't want a Gardner Minshew stack probably with Bowers. But I think one of these two guys, I don't mind either of them. We'll make that our QB play. Brock says, Andrew, in my home league, 12-team, full PPR, my hero running back build is burning down after losing Pacheco. For my running backs, I have Akers, Warren, Pirine, and Dowdle. Which two would you start? Projected to lose by 17. I would be starting Warren and Akers this week. I feel confident in Akers' workload. Warren, he's the most talented, and I'm not as confident in what Pirine's going to know, or I don't know what he's going to be this week. I don't know what type of workload he's going to see. I presume that the early down work is going to be Carson Steele, but I don't know. I think Warren and Akers is what I'd roll out. Tank Dell, how much do you guys want to bet that this Carbon Kitten drafts some like crazy tight end, like some obnoxious tight end? All right, Josh Jacobs, do we take Derek Carr? We rock with Derek Carr. Yeah. It's been on fire. No problem, man. Let's see what this Carbon Kitten. I'm watching his ass. Bro pissed me off. Chase Edmonds, Brendan Rice is crazy at 12 and 13. And then here he takes, what did he do? Can we even see? It was this one, right? Kamara Mason. It won't let us see his team. I hate that guy. Hate that guy, man. I'm wondering if we should draft a fifth one because he did that. I guess if I get an email that has been thrown out, I'll just draft another one off stream tomorrow because I like running with 4 of them out there. Let's draft one more. Dragna says, would you start Akers over Chuba as well? I would. I think he's going to have a very solid workload. And that being said, the Vikings defense has been solid, but who knows what the hell the Panthers are going to look like. We assume it's going to be better, right? But who knows what it's going to look like. So we are about to start this last draft. One more. This is the final draft, so if you have any other questions, throw them into the chat. Here you go. Something different in this one. We're drafting from the 102. So I would like to take somebody that we haven't taken yet. I'd say CeeDee Lamb would be ideal if we can grab CeeDee because we haven't been able to get him on a team yet. So if we can get him, that's what I want to do. If not, where can we get unique? I don't know. Maybe we just take another Saquon because I believe in Saquon this week. But I'd like to grab CeeDee Lamb if we can. Hopefully, Senpi Ben or whatever, Senpi Ben. Maybe that's something that I'm not familiar with. I don't know. Man, dude, I hope that draft doesn't get thrown out. I can't believe he went Edmonds and Brendan Rice. All right, take Kamara. Don't take Lamb. You thinking a little bit too long here. You goddamn motherfucker. Sure. Saquon. Kamara. For our next one, I'd like to go Nico. If we can get him. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but I'd like to. Amon off the board. Mason off the board. Come on, man. I'm so impatient, dude. I'm such an impatient person when it comes to, like, sitting here on the clock. I'm like, hurry up and pick, bro, because I want to make my next pick. God damn you, Bones. Let's go with did we get Devontae? We got Devontae in the other one, right? I'm going to go James Conner. We're done with the running back. And then I'm going to try and go with Devontae Adams or Devontae Smith. Maybe not Devontae Smith because we have, what's his name? Goddamn. You know what? How about that? How about that? We don't have any Kyler yet. Let's do that. And then my next one, what if we do this? And then we just take the wide receivers last. Get a little bit crazy here. That's the way to do it. Jalen Hurts off the board. Let's see if we can grab this tight end. The good news is Bones already has one, and Elag has one already. So as long as Optimistic doesn't take a tight end, we should be all right. Olave off the board. Ayuk. We'll take Laporta. Kyler, Saquon, Connor, Laporta. Now we'll go grab 2 wide receivers, see what we can do over here. I don't mind going and taking a shot on a Tyreek on this roster and seeing, if we can still get a big play, something schemed his way. I don't mind if we take a shot on somebody a little bit deeper. Maybe this is the week that we get the big, Tank Dell play. Maybe. There's Stroud. So we'll go Tyreek. I'm going to take the shot on Tyreek. And then maybe Flowers. He comes off the board, so it's not going to be him. Neighbors, Evans, Metcalf. Why don't we just try and get the I kind of want to just target the big play with Rashid Shaheed again. Is that crazy to just target Rashid Shaheed? Derek Carr off the board. I think we're just going to get crazy with Shaheed here. We got 3 targets, 4 targets? Maybe not. Yeah, not him. Mike Evans, whatever. It's fine. I was debating between him and Diggs. So I guess we'll just go with Mike Evans there. That's fine. Watch this be the lineup that wins. Jay says, at tight end, Ferguson are likely. At running back, Dobbins or Akers. Thanks in advance. I would probably go likely over Ferguson this week. And at running back, I'm probably going Dobbins over Akers. Just knowing what we know. I think if it's a PPR league, full-point PPR league, maybe Akers has a little bit more upside than Dobbins, but you can't bench Dobbins with what he's been doing. So likely in Dobbins is what I'm going to do. Let's look at our exposure for the week, and then we'll answer these last couple questions before we get out. But Brandon Ayuk on 2 teams, Saquon on 2 teams, Andrews on 2 teams. Then you got Kyler and all these other guys on 1 team. So, guys, we need to have a good week if we want a good chance at cashing, which we have done in the last 2 weeks. We need Ayuk to have a good week, Saquon a good week, and Mark Andrews. These are the guys we're rooting for underdog purposes. But that being said, that is it for today's stream. We got another question here from Drachna. He says, over under the Saints putting up 40 points against my Eagles this week. Not a question I thought I'd ask going into the season. They could be putting up a good amount of points. Olave is my start of the week for that reason. Like, I love Olave at the wide receiver position this week. Abdul says, I guess if I'm going over under, I'm going under 40. Abdul says, I'm back in my main league I was talking about earlier. I'm getting genuinely sick of Mahomes not winning me games. I'm trying for Hurts since I just got AJB and she is worthy. What would that be? I mean, if you can move Mahomes for Hurts, I'm down to do that. I drafted Hurts over Mahomes in my home league as well this year. I think Hurts has more fantasy football upside than Patrick Mahomes. So if you can make that happen, I think it makes sense, and I would do it. So there you are. That is the last question for today. As always, guys, we do this every Saturday. If you want to ask more questions, go join the Discord. There is a Discord linked in the description. I just noticed one of these lights just turned out. I need to change the batteries in those lights on the shelf. But that being said, go join the Discord, linked in the description. It's free to join. No risk in doing that. I answer all of your questions in there, as many of them as I can. Obviously, a lot of them come in, so it's kind of busy sometimes. But I try and answer as many as I can. That's the best way to ask me questions. When it comes down to start sits, questions that you might have start sit wise, I would say tomorrow morning, make sure you're there. Start sit stream as we do every Sunday. That's what you want to be there for. If you're watching this stream and you're still here and you haven't hit the like button, please go hit that like button for me. It is the best free way to show this channel some support. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you are doing all of those things for me. I really appreciate it. And Abdul says, would anyone have to add to it in a Dynasty League? To be honest, if you're giving Mahomes to her, she probably has to add to it in a Dynasty. Hurts plus something smallish to go get Mahomes. So there you are. That is it. Nothing else for you guys today. Let's hope that Ayuk, Saquon, and Mark Andrews have good weeks here this week. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, peace out.